There's not really a organization to this, so out they come. Hello everyone, long time no see. I have missed this space so much. I'm walking super slow because our walkway is icy. Woo! Anyway, obviously the baby is here. Her name is Saoirse, and she is doing really well. Admittedly, she was a very difficult baby at first. We had some tongue tie issues, which a lot of my children have had. So we addressed that, and then she also had a cold pretty quickly, courtesy of, well, she's the fourth kid, so there's always something in the house, right? And so we are through all of that now. We are all doing really well, and most of my babies who are grumpy seem to turn a corner at 6 weeks, and so now she is doing really well, and at least as of the past several days. So, and she's actually a good sleeper, so I feel like I can come back into this space just a little bit. And I'm walking to our mailbox. I'm gonna have to stop here because there's actually a lot of ice. I'm gonna have to pay attention. But my seed order is here for the garden this year. I ordered a lot of stuff from MI Gardener, and I can't wait to show you what I got. So I am gonna go get these seeds. We're gonna go inside and unbox it, and I'm also gonna show you guys my garden plan that's drawn up for the year and talk about it a little bit. All right, I don't have a very fancy place to film this, so this is the best I've got for you. We are gonna open this up. I am so excited. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're in. There's not really a organization to this, so out they come. I did, however, get one of these. I didn't realize it was so big. I definitely don't have this many seeds this year anyway, but I could definitely see getting to this point. So I guess it's good to start organization early. This is, I've seen this, if you follow many online gardening channels and whatnot, I'm sure you've probably seen this hack before. They are photo organizers, and just stay in this box. Oh boy, I can't get that in there. Okay. And they came with these. They're just like the little labels. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to use these labels yet, because I think it'll be kind of obvious what is in them. You know, like one will be for peppers, one will be for tomatoes, and they're clear so you can see that. Undecided. Now my plan for my garden this year, keep in mind this is our first time doing a large plot, and I'm not totally sure how it's going to go. I expect that we're going to find that we didn't give enough space for certain things, or we gave way too much space for certain things, but you gotta start somewhere, right? The other thing is I am planning my garden for abundance. I have this little sliding planner from Clyde's, and it has this really funny quote on it. It's a Bible verse that's basically like, it basically says in a nutshell, if you plant few seeds, you get a small harvest. If you plant a lot of seeds, you get an abundant harvest. So I am not worried about an abundant harvest. I know that we are probably going to grow too much food, and I look forward to sharing that with people. However, I don't know if we will grow too much food this year or even next year, because our soil is not great and is going to take a long time to be what we need it to be. So that being said, here is my rough sketch. I am thinking that this will be our bean tunnel, which we are going to build at least some of this year. I don't think we're going to build all the way down, because I want to experiment with leaving some of this available for vining crops, like I'm thinking watermelon, cantaloupe, things that spread. I don't think I gave those enough space in this garden. So anyway, that's one thing I've already realized, that maybe I didn't plan that quite right. But anyway, I have 3-foot rows here. So the black is walkways separating the 3-foot rows, and I have a row of tomatoes, tomatillos, peppers, onions, which I have onions and carrots, which I want a companion plant, red onions, garlic, shallot, all of that. Potatoes, various kinds, and then I have zucchini, squash, cantaloupe, watermelon, cucumber, pumpkins, that sort of thing down here. I am not sure if this is going to be a gigantic mess. I think some of the smaller things like cucumbers might do okay in this 3-foot row, but I'm thinking my pumpkins and whatnot might get put over here. And then at the bottom, this is going to be a permanent asparagus bed, which I do hope to start this year. It just depends how much time we have. And then strawberries, which I will definitely start this year because that's easy enough. Now, a couple things to note when I start going through the seeds. Well, I guess they wouldn't be here anyway because you would do seed potatoes, but I am not going to plant potatoes this year. I'm just going to cover crop that row and take it easy. I have enough things to plant and learn, and potatoes are just not going to be one of them this year. Also, I think I feel the same way about onions. I did buy some carrot seeds, but maybe I'll just stick them somewhere else this year so that I can cover crop this row as well, at least until the fall, because I do have garlic planned for this row as well, so maybe I'll cover crop it until the fall, and then we will pop our garlic in for our 2026 harvest. I can't believe we're already talking about maybe something happening in 2026. I still feel like it's 2019. The years stopped when I started having kids, I guess. I am going to start by opening just a few of these containers and start getting things sorted into them. Ugh, I have a helper. Okay. Here, you want to take a look at this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, you go do that. All right, for my pepper lineup, we have these ancho peppers. Lenny, sit back. We have normal red bell peppers, as well as these bell peppers. I've grown these from a start from Azure. And then we have the yellow bell pepper. And then for our spicy peppers, I have habaneros and
Mommy,
these jalapenos. Now, these are a special variety of jalapeno, the pumpkin spice jalapeno. I did not do this on purpose. They were out of stock of regular jalapenos. So we'll see how these grow. There were a lot of other peppers that I wanted to try, especially like the hot peppers, but I'm trying to pace myself, and yeah, this will do for this year. I do plan to start these inside. I just got a bunch of stuff in for seed starting, so we'll see how it goes. All right, next are my tomatoes. Now, I did a lot of research online about what was better for canning tomato products, Roma or Amish paste. I read that Amish paste is sweeter, which I think we might prefer, but I honestly don't know. I've never grown Amish paste, and I have grown Romas, and I had a lot of trouble with my Romas. I've always grown them in pots, and my Roma tomatoes have always gotten blossom end rot. I don't know why, so I didn't want to only grow Romas either, so I figured I will just grow some of each, and we're gonna see how it goes. One of my favorite things that I grew last year were varieties of cherry tomatoes. Oh, where'd the other one go? I think I ordered a yellow kind, but it must have been out of stock by the time I pressed order. But we froze these in Ziploc bags, and we've just been making pasta dishes out of them, and they're so good, and it was so easy. I didn't have to worry about waiting for a bunch to be ripe at once. You could just go out there every day, pick a handful, and then throw them in the Ziploc bag in the freezer. It doesn't get easier than that. So I definitely wanted a lot of those in our garden this year. And then I also grew some beefsteaks. Well, these aren't technically beefsteaks, but I wanted some big slicing tomatoes. That's a better word, slicing tomatoes. Because we have burgers very often in the summer, and I definitely wanted some of these out there. Lastly, I decided to group tomatillos with the tomatoes because I don't think there are that many varieties of tomatillos, at least not that I'm interested in. I want the ones that are huge. Ooh, you're gonna pinch my fingers. I want the ones that are huge, and I think this is not huge, but the biggest ones you can grow, and I think this is them. I could be wrong. These are Grande Rio Verde tomatillos. So hopefully I've got the right ones, and I'm just gonna put them with the tomatoes. For beans, I got these Cherokee pole beans, and I also got these rattlesnake pole beans. I am not interested in growing beans for drying. I simply want fresh green beans to eat. And we also have a freeze dryer coming. And so I think I'm just going to freeze dry them also and see if they're good for fresh eating, or rehydrated eating rather. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and also I definitely wanted pole varieties because I want them to climb up the trellis. So we were pretty limited. I think these were the only pole varieties that were in stock when I was looking. The rest were bush beans. I see. All right, so these are marigolds. They're the only flower that I plan to grow this year, just because of time. After I ordered these, I read online that if your marigolds are not working for pest control, it's because you did not buy the right kind and you need African marigolds. So I went to a separate website. I can't remember where I ordered it from. I'll type it here if I find it. Ow! Thank you. And I got marigold seeds that are African varieties, 2 of them that I'm going to try in the garden, maybe instead of this. All right, then I got cilantro, parsley, and basil, and these I plan to winter sow in milk jugs. I've been saving milk jugs for a while now. And I start those probably sometime in February, and that worked amazingly well last year for getting some healthy starts to stick in the green stalk or the garden. These I also winter sow. I am trying a few different kinds of greens and lettuces. So I have iceberg head lettuce. I'm not sure how well that's going to grow because I'm guessing you want it to mature into a head, right? I've never grown a lettuce that far. I have arugula, just to add some variety to salads. And I have this romaine lettuce. We're pretty simple. We really like romaine, so I want to have some of that. My little helper here was trying to show you these peas. These are snow peas. They were out of stock of snap peas, and I did place an additional order for snap peas when they came in, so I have those coming as well. I am really curious if I can freeze dry these and then use them in stir fries later this year. I think the freeze dryer is going to be kind of a game changer and just a lot of fun, so I'm very excited to experiment with these. So next we have pumpkins. These are little pumpkins. I thought the kids would have a lot of fun with this. And then I also ordered Long Island cheese pumpkins for canning. They were out of stock when I purchased the order, so they're coming in a separate shipment. I didn't necessarily want to grow our carving pumpkins. We're gonna be a little bit sad to let go of our pumpkin patch tradition. We go to a farm here that does $100 wheelbarrows, and we usually get all of our pumpkins like that, including our Long Island cheese. I don't know what we're gonna do with that tradition yet, so we'll see, but I do think it will be really fun to grow these and at least the Long Island cheese ones. This container is going to just be my random vegetable container for now. I have okra and eggplant. There were so many different varieties of eggplant. I honestly don't really know what I want or how to select them. I haven't had too much luck with eggplant, so at this point I just want one that is going to produce well. And then I have okra. Our okra did great the one time I grew it. I grew it in pots before, and I think I can freeze dry this too and have it handy for soups and whatnot, so I'm excited about this one. And then, I know I said I wasn't gonna grow onions, but I'm gonna grow these. I love cooking with scallions. They freeze really easily, and they are something that keeps me going back to the grocery store, and I don't like to go to the grocery store that often. We usually shop once or twice a month. We do Costco once a month, Azure once a month, that sort of thing. So I try to preserve as many of these as I can during the growing season. We were just doing it in freezer gallon bags, but now we're gonna have a freeze dryer, and I think these would freeze dry beautifully, and they're just prolific when they're growing. You just don't do the white part, you know, you just trim the greens and they come back over and over and over. So definitely gonna grow these, although I've never grown them from seed. We will see how they go. Last but not least, I have our melons. There were so many cool melons to pick from, but I'm trying to keep it very simple here. Also because I don't know how much space we're gonna have in our garden patch. So I picked up a cantaloupe.
Mommy, it's frozen.
I picked up a honeydew and I have a watermelon. Now we are used to I'm sure it's GMO watermelon at Costco that has no seeds. So this will take some getting used to, but I'm sure my kids will be thrilled seeing watermelon in the garden. So that's my plan. I feel like it's a little ambitious, but I really did try to curb myself. I'm gonna get everything put back in here. I do think I'm gonna hold off on the white labels for now, just because I'm not entirely sure how some of them should be labeled. This will also be our first year. This is a year of a lot of firsts. We are going to be starting some seeds from scratch. And then it's also our first year with a freeze dryer, which I've never had before. If you have any favorite ways of preserving some of the things that I showed, please let me know. I think I'm constantly discovering new ways that you can preserve things and different recipes. So if you have favorites, I would love to know what you do down below. So we have canning capabilities, we'll have a freeze dryer, and then a freezer, of course, although I am trying to get as much stuff out of our freezers as possible because I would prefer to have meat and things like that in our freezers. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. It is so great to be back in the space creating again. I really love talking to you all in the comments. There's so much wisdom that just gets passed around. We all have different life experiences, and I've learned so much just from this little adventure with you, not to mention all the other channels on YouTube. I love YouTube. I learned so much on YouTube. So I'm also working on, well, there goes our lighting. I guess it's time to say goodbye. I'm also working on a updated pantry tour in the new house, so I will have that for you probably next week. And there's a little bit of an Azure haul in there as well, but our last order was really tiny. So anyway, I will see you all in the next video, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.